Now that we've seen how to write, compile, and run a C++ program, we're ready to move on and discuss the fundamental building blocks of C++ programs. The first of these building blocks is a data type. Data types are important for several reasons. Most importantly, though, a data type defines the proper use of an identifier or an expression. This means that what type of data can be stored in an identifier or written in an expression is determined by the data type. Also, which types of operations can be performed on an identifier or an expression are constrained by the data type of the identifier or the parts of the expression. For example, look at the expression 12 plus 2. This is a legal expression in C++ because the operator plus or addition is defined for the data types stored with 12 and 2 integers or whole numbers. The next example, 12 plus Mike, shows an example of an illegal expression in C++. The operation plus is not defined for a combination of the integer 12 and the string Mike. And that's logical because what would it mean to add 12 plus Mike? However, when we have two strings like hello and world, it does make sense to add them together, although in this case, the plus sign is really not the addition operator, but a different operator called concatenation. As the last example, we have an expression with two variables or identifiers, salary and tax rate. The asterisk is the multiplication sign, or the multiplication operator, and in this case, because salary and tax rate are defined as numeric data types, then multiplication is defined for this operation. There are several different data types found in C++. The first of these is the numeric data types, which can be numbers like 1000 or 3.14159 or pi. C++ actually divides these into two different categories: whole numbers or integers, which makes up 1000, or floating point numbers, which is what pi is. There are different data types to store different types of these numbers, and we'll discuss those later on. Next, we have strings, which consist of things like hello world or Mike. A string is really just any combination of characters or numbers or symbols even that are enclosed in quote marks. Another data type C++ uses quite a bit is the character, which is a single letter like A or T and not a string of them. An interesting fact about characters in C++ is they are actually stored as numbers. We'll discuss that later on also. Finally, we have the Boolean data type. Booleans are true-false values that are usually the result of some sort of condition, like testing to see if 3 is equal to 4, which is false, or if name is equal to Mike, which may be true if the identifier name has been assigned the value Mike. These are just four of the main data type groupings, and it's not an inclusive list. We'll be discussing more of the data types as we go through the course. In my next video, we'll start with the numeric data types and discuss the int and the double.